take two of the Newsbreak video. All right, we're doing this again. Rarely do I do a take two. We're doing take two. So, this is a video for the main channel. It's three stories that are similar. We're gonna do the more timely, relevant one first. Last week was a year to the day that we lost Eddie Van Halen, one of the greatest guitar players in the history of rock and roll, and one of the two principal founders and namesakes of the band Van Halen. So, it's a year later. A lot of people doing tributes, people talking about it. David Lee Roth made the announcement October 1st that he is retiring from touring, and according to his press release, which I'm going to link in the description box of this video, and I will explain, and I'm also going to put it on the front of the Facebook page. I'm going to explain that in a second. So he says that the last shows, there are going to be 5 last shows. They're going to be ending the Van Halen era and his own stage career at the House of Blues at Mandalay Bay on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, January 5th, and in January 7th and 8th. And he says these are the last 5 shows. It's a 6-minute and 16-minute statement that will gut you. If you're a David Lee Roth fan, if you're a Van Halen fan, there's a line in the middle of it that's a Meatloaf reference that is going to gut you. Just letting you know that up front. I do want to comment a little bit because I haven't done it. It's been a debate that I've kind of watched for a long time, but I guess I might as well wade into it now. People are going to be wading into it later. I'm Van Halen. I'm not Van Hagar. Sorry. I realized that Van Hagar, it was after everybody got clean and David left, and they had this more mature sound. It was kind of adult contemporary. And When It's Love was a hit song. And they had a song on the Twister soundtrack, which is Human Beings, which is a good song. I just liked Dave's showmanship. I mean, just as a kid, Just a Gigolo and, Panama, and his whole thing just captivated me as a kid. I'm sorry. That's where I was. And, that's the Eruption era. It's, I didn't find out till later that the guitar solo in Beat It, just Eddie Van Halen. For years after when I saw him playing with Michael Jackson, I thought it was Steve Vai's deal, or I thought he had Joe Satriani do it. No. It's Eddie. And he didn't even get paid for it. He did it for free. They got no royalties for it. It's like probably one of the most played songs in history of rock and roll. He got no royalties. They got nothing. He did it for free. Kills me. And it killed everybody in the band to hear when they tell that story. I'm being a little lighthearted about it because when you hear this audio, it is going to gut you. Let's say it like that. The 3 stories we're going to do as the first story none of them are really happy stories necessarily. The second story, which I'm going to cover real quick, is about John Lydon, otherwise known as Johnny Rotten. Y'all know the story of Johnny Rotten. Some of you know the story of Public Image Limited. If you've ever seen John Lydon, John Rotten in a interview, you know that he's not irascible, I guess is the polite word. He's rude, and he's not the guy you want to ask a question to, because he's going to give you a cold, unvarnished answer. And he's currently going through right now, as has been publicly stated in interview I found last week that I want to digest before I really talked about it. John Lydon's wife is suffering from Alzheimer's, and he's taking care of her. It's a terrible disease. It's a disease I've had a lot of interaction with up close. And I was surprised that he said anything because he's an exceedingly private person. And he's also a guy that doesn't make any excuses for his life or how it goes. But he's been, you know, he's as circumspect as you would find anybody in that situation. Alzheimer's is dementia is a very humbling disease for the people that are around it. It's rough, and if it had to be his wife and somebody, anytime it's someone close to you, it's hard. I'm just imagining you go through all these. It's a joke I tell, but I'm like, you have to go meet somebody, you have to get them to like you, and you have to get them to spend time with you, and you have to get them to agree to spend the rest of their life with you. They fart, and it's a mess. And those are some of the funny times. All the things you go through, in a marriage, and that these are the, especially a marriage to a public figure, like you have to. All the time she just kind of sat in the background while John was being John. So this is the other side of it. And prayers for his family. Prayers for John Lydon. It's going to be rough. He should be in thoughts of all his fans and people. Just, there's that. The last story that I want to talk about is the Tony Bennett story. And it's a related story. Tony Bennett's 95. He's doing his last album with Lady Gaga. He is suffering also from dementia and Alzheimer's. And I was reading an interview last week with his wife. It's his wife and Lady Gaga. I think Mr. Bennett's in the interview himself. And what she talked about is that there are times where I'm quoting from the interview where he doesn't remember some things some of the time, but he remembers how to be Tony Bennett. It's like when the light's on, he's back. And that's what Lady Gaga talked about when they were doing the recording sessions and everything. And he remembers her. And it's like they didn't finish the last session that they did on the last record that they've done. That was, I thought, that's really touching. Also think, and as a side note, I think it's really interesting given Lady Gaga's body of work from Poker Face, the humble beginnings, to a lot of the other stuff she's done, that she ended up out of that era of new artists, that she ended up going back and not just having the vocal talent to do it because she's an amazing range, but she ends up doing standards and doing stuff with legends like Tony Bennett. And it's just not where I would have seen her going. Yes, she loves glam and she loves a lot of that old. She has an affinity for like big bands, stuff like that, and she does love standards. I just never thought that it would be her. But she's pulling it off, and it's kind of if you haven't listened to that last Tony Bennett record, which isn't, I think they even did a Christmas album too. I think I check that out. But give Lady Gaga credit. She's got chops, and she's doing it. And I think this last record is It's officially from what the article said was Mr. Bennett's last record. I don't think there's going to be a tour. I don't know what's going on with that part of it, but it is his last record. So that's this section of stories. That's these three. This news break. I have another news break recorded that actually talks about the Nirvana thing, so I might see if I can post that. And I'm gonna try to put out another playlist tonight. I think I got time. I got time to do that. I'm gonna get that done. So look out for those. Probably like at least 2 uploads today. Even though it's late today. So thanks. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk to you later.